Airbus has shown amazing strength in the ongoing battle for supremacy in the commercial aircraft business, gaining a clear sales lead over Boeing. Airbus took the lead even before Boeing had to deal with more problems with production and ongoing safety issues. Airbus recently announced a 28% increase in quarterly net profit. For 5 years in a row, Airbus has had more plane orders and deliveries than Boeing. Its success can be credited to smart business decisions, like beating Boeing to make a line of mid-size planes that use less fuel and are cheaper for airlines to run. Even though Boeing is having problems right now, Airbus is still being careful and focusing on keeping its strategic place. Now the question, can Airbus fully capitalize on Boeing's woes? No. Airbus probably won't be able to get much ahead in the Airbus-Boeing duopoly, even though customers are asking for more commercial planes. This is because Airbus is already making planes as fast as it can and needs to fill more than 8,600 bookings right away. So, it can't really use Boeing's problems to its advantage. Because of tight supply chains and long lead times for a very complicated and regulated product, an airplane ordered from Airbus today might not come until the end of the decade. Now, the airline backlog is creating a capacity crunch and raising ticket prices. Both the companies are facing a huge backlog of orders of more than 5,660 passenger planes. This imbalance between the need for flights after COVID and the supply of planes is a worry for airlines. The demand for jets is much higher than the supply, which has caused a capacity crunch and caused ticket prices to go up. One major contributing factor is that Boeing 737 MAX issues continue to haunt company and the industry. In 2018 and 2019, MAX jets crashed in Indonesia and Ethiopia, killing 346 people. Then in 2024, when Boeing finally seemed to be getting better, on January 5th, an Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9's door plug blew out. The company has been in shock ever since. The US Federal Aviation Administration has told Boeing to slow down production. Boeing lost $355 million in the first quarter because fewer planes were delivered and airlines were paid money because MAX 9s had to be grounded for a while. The MAX was Boeing's answer to the Airbus A320 family. Now, even Airbus is being very careful and even modest about its recent success and its rivals' problems. Boeing problems, which makes its CEO Guillaume Faury not happy. These problems are also bad for the industry as a whole, Faury said. During April 25th press meet, Faury was unsure how much the company could accelerate output despite having €8.7 billion in cash on hand. It is not just Boeing. Airbus is also facing a variety of issues in obtaining the parts it required. Faury said Boeing must make sure that we ramp up at a speed that is compatible with the weakest suppliers. Faury emphasized that any manufacturing expansions will be guided by our core pillars of safety, quality, integrity, compliance, and security. Airbus and Boeing face manufacturing limits in part because the two companies are not so much aircraft manufacturers as plane assemblers that rely on thousands of parts made by other companies, from the fuselage and engines to electronics and interiors. Because the supply chains are moving as rapidly as they can, Airbus cannot rush in and capture Boeing's customers. However, the European company gained a symbolic victory when United Airlines signed leases for 35 Airbus jets due to Boeing's delays in having its new, larger MAX 10 certified by US regulators. So, which company is winning more orders? Airbus led Boeing in the orders race for the 5th year in a row, with 2,094 net orders and 735 delivered planes. Boeing received 1,314 net orders and delivered 528 aircraft. Airbus presently leads Boeing in sales of large single-aisle planes by 80%. The smaller Airbus A320 and Boeing's 737 MAX 7 and MAX 8 are more well-matched. Airbus leads in delivered jets, but Boeing leads 54% to 46% when the company's order backlog is considered. Airbus's success is not solely attributed to Boeing's mistakes. The company benefits from its choice to introduce the A321neo, a single-aisle aircraft with 180 to 230 passengers. NEO stands for New Engine Option, which refers to highly fuel-efficient engines that save airlines money on one of their largest expenses. Boeing hastened to compete with the MAX, a 737 with new, more efficient engines, only to encounter crashes and door plugs. Airbus also benefited from a deal to acquire Bombardier's smaller A220, Boeing does not have a competing product in that niche. Analysts believe Airbus has a competitive advantage with the upcoming A321XLR, a variant that will allow carriers to deploy cheaper narrow-body jets on long-haul flights. However, the company has already extended the deadline for producing 75 A320 and A321 jets each month from 2025 to 2026, as well as the planned delivery date for the A321XLR from the second quarter of 2024 to the third. So Boeing is obtaining certain orders because Airbus is unable to produce the jets. The two companies' current production rates mean that older, less fuel-efficient planes would have to fly longer before being decommissioned, preventing carriers from lowering fuel prices. Older planes also require more maintenance to keep them flying, which costs money but has no effect on safety if done correctly. Travelers will have a difficult time finding inexpensive seats. Now the question is, if the world has an option. Brazil's Embraer produces smaller regional planes, but it has yet to compete with Boeing and Airbus. China's Comac has received over 1,000 orders for its narrow-body C919 airliner, but it is still at least a decade or two away from being a viable rival. That suggests that a two-company race will continue for the time being, even if one of them is underperforming. Airlines do not want a single vendor situation, and they are waiting for Boeing to get its act together. Now, do you think Boeing will be able to recover in the next 10 years? Let us know in the comments. We discuss such interesting topics every day. Please like, share, and subscribe for more such stories in the future.